This presentation contains some motion that could affect certain viewers. I was laid out flat on a cold hard operating table similar to the one that you see here. As I counted backwards, 100, 99, 98, 97, and as I slowly drifted off, all I could see were their faces. Faces of my son. Faces of my daughter. And just 24 hours earlier, my daughter sat across from me at the kitchen table. That same kitchen table where when she was little, like in those pictures, I would stand her up on the table. We'd see eye to eye. And I'd take a step back. She'd leap into my arms. We'd laugh. I'd set her on the table again. I'd sit her on the table again. Step back a little further, and she'd jump even further, and I'd catch her. And we'd laugh and laugh and laugh. But on this occasion, less than 24 hours earlier, I sat across from her to tell her probably the most difficult thing I ever had to say to somebody in my life. Now, she was a senior in high school. She was taking her tests. She was submitting her applications for colleges. She's an artist. She takes after her dad. And she wanted to go to art school, so we were working on her portfolio. We didn't want to distract her. We wanted her to focus on what's next for her. But imagine the difficulty in telling her that tomorrow at this time, there may be a chance that dad may never come home again. It was tough. It was tough. When I came to, the cardiologist told me the news. I didn't have one, but two 100% blocked arteries. One on each side. One that prevented blood from flowing, being pushed out, and one on the return side. I learned some things along the way. When things were tough, when times were tough, when I didn't have answers, that helped me get through it. I reached out for assistance when I needed it. We're going to talk about that today. I began to hike as part of a regiment to keep my cardio health. I hiked, walked anywhere and everywhere around the city of Santa Clarita, 5 minutes before sunrise, to maintain and build my cardio health. I found resources like Big Orange Heart, and when things were tough and I needed to talk to someone, I could reach out. I had a circle of friends that I would reach out to. We'll talk about that. Making sure you have someone that's there for you, that can help you get through tough times. We've all had it really tough during the pandemic. And I'll also share with you how the WordPress community helped save me. There are so many incredible people in the WordPress community that were there when I needed them, that answered my questions, that inspired me, that motivated me, that encouraged me to get back. Part of what really healed me emotionally and physically was deciding that at that point, and from that point forward, I would always focus on learning and sharing with others, giving back to a community that had given me so much. I'd learned to never say never again. So I had a plan. Working with the hospital staff, on off days, I would go to the park. There are a number of parks in Southern California. The weather's always great. And I would go to the local park and I would start my journey back by putting one foot in front of the other, until I was tired. Rest up and repeat until 2 feet turned into 10 steps, turned into 100 steps, turned into 1 lap around the park, and so on. I set goals for myself. Small goals are incredibly important during the most difficult of times. A lot of times we have lofty goals. We come up with big things that we expect for ourselves or that we want for ourselves. And we're often frustrated when we overdo or overshoot or overextend and run into some roadblocks along the way. I decided that I was going to climb a local hill. At Central Park in Santa Clarita, it was the size of, I believe, a 10-story building to get from the base to the top of the structure, to the top of the hill. And I took it in small chunks. I said if I could do a quarter of the way every couple of months, every 3 months, however long it took, I was going to take it in small chunks until I reached the top. I took a 90-day leave of absence from work to heal and recover. During that time, I discovered an old love. I had learned about WordPress 10 years earlier and learned about the community through participating in automatic open houses. I was able to travel up to Napa for the WordPress VIP intensive workshop. And back then I learned about the WordPress community. I was a graphic designer turned HTML novice that was interested in this thing called WordPress. Our lead developer and CSS goddess both left our company within 1 month of each other, and I inherited a WordPress site. Luckily, we're a government agency and they had budget in place that particular year to send me away to training. I attended those events, and imagine me in a room full of the best developers from automaticians from around the world, WordPress users from around the world, all developer level, all advanced, were in this room, these rooms in Napa. And imagine me, someone that's just learning HTML, being asked to spin up a virtual box. But everyone there helped. No one made me feel bad. No one made fun of me. Everyone encouraged me to do more. So fast forward 10 years, I decided, let me attend my first WordPress meetup. Over the next 3 months, I attended 17 to 20, all over Southern California, miles and miles and miles. And that same attitude, that same warmth, that same inspiration, that same encouragement was there for me, and it made me stronger. And for the first time, I felt overwhelmed. Now, we all, during the pandemic, put on a little weight because we were quarantined for a while. We weren't as active for a while. There was so much uncertainty. In this country, there was civil unrest. There was an election coming up. This country was divided and at each other's throat. So imagine a life-altering, a once-in-a-lifetime event such as a pandemic, heaped on top of that, all these other things that were going on. We were being asked to stay at home. We still haven't returned to the office yet. We're still virtual here in Los Angeles. And so those things started to weigh on me. We decided to do our word camps virtually, and that was a different set of stresses. Some of the interpersonal relationships were afraid, and I was questioning things. There was change, and one thing that I want to let you know is that there'll always be change. It's how we deal with it, how we cope with it. These things were all weighing me down. I've consistently been a positive person, but the first time, things all around me were in flux and I couldn't handle it. What really helped me during this time was falling back on the things that had helped me during my recovery. During tough times last year, I leaned heavily on my walks, my hikes up Hillcrest Parkway here in Santa Clarita. I love getting out into the fresh air early in the morning, in the blue hour, that time before sunrise, when there aren't many cars on the road, when there's not much noise. 5 minutes before sunrise, I'd have to be up at the top of the hill. We live on a steep incline, and at the top of the hill, I can see the valley. Find something that helps calm you. That mindfulness that I found each morning when I'd listen to a podcast or listen to a yoga meditation would help me set my mind at ease and prepare me for that day. Find something or someone that you can talk to. There are great services here at Big Orange Heart where you can get someone to help you. My name is Joe Simpson. Thank you. You can find me here, Joe Simpson Jr., on any of these platforms. So for instance, on Gmail, Joe Simpson Jr. at Gmail. You can find me on Instagram, Joe Simpson Jr., Facebook, Twitter, all the social media platforms at Joe Simpson Jr. I run a couple of meetups here in Santa Clarita, and you're welcome. The best thing about the pandemic is that when we went virtual, it opened up our meetups and all of our events to the world's audience. So I encourage you to join us. We're -7 UTC. We have a meetup that's beginner focused, and we bring in speakers, and we try to do a lot of learning. So you're welcome to that. We have a WordCamp Santa Clarita here. Hopefully we'll have one later this fall. I'm really excited about the next stage of my journey. I've joined the Make WordPress Accessible team, and I'm a team rep on that team. I'm hoping to contribute to making WordPress more accessible for everyone. And finally, I'm really excited about being part of the Black Press Initiative. I'm working with some automaticians and raising awareness about WordPress with creators and contributors of Black African descent. My hope is that later this fall or sometime in the near future, we'll have an event on a HBCU or historically Black colleges and university campus. And I encourage you to join us. It's open to all. So again, make sure you enjoy the rest of this event. There's some incredible topics. Reach out, participate in WordPress, give back to WordPress. You're the power that runs WordPress. Help make WordPress work for you and for others by getting involved. Thanks to the team here at WordFest and Big Orange Heart for having me. Have a great day. Take care.